Hey gang, welcome back to the shop. It is a beautiful, about 65 degree out, perfect temperature, October day. October, but what about the 4-H grounds that you're going to have done by a fair week? Yeah, we don't want to mention that. They're coming, everything is done. I'm still working on through the videos. It's just a matter of timing of getting them installed when there's not big events out there, which I wasn't kept in the loop on. So the other thing is my videos have been spaced out because I haven't had time. My new job, the type of company I work for, they have you do 6 months as a contract, basically contract to hire. Because it's not the IT work for everybody. One day you can be in 5 different client environments remotely, and it's stressful to people who just either too old to give a shit or like to have those jobs where they coast. That's not me. So with that, I was put on site at a client's site unexpectedly. Hey, screw is looking for. That's awesome. For about 6.5 months. So I just did the whole transition. I'm now a new employee, and I got this wonderful new thing called PTO, and unfortunately, not yet health insurance. You got to wait 30 days. That's another thing. Had to end up going to the VA. Because I did something to my wrist, helping out with a festival, and refracture of a fracture, an old fracture I did like 20 years ago. So it could be a possible microfracture or scar tissue arthritis, or we don't know. Here's 800 milligram Motrin and brace it for the next 4 to 6 weeks. But my real insurance will kick in before then, and I'll go get it checked out again. So this has slowed me down a lot. Yesterday I had a job literally just across the street. Situation 2005 Cadillac DeVille. They didn't have any keys programmed, which no problem. They had one that was cut and would operate the ignition but wouldn't start the vehicle. No problem. I broke out the X-Tool Pro Pad, the Top Don, the whatever that little thing is. None of them could get the pin or connect to the security module. I even broke out good old trusty CK1, which usually for the older early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s really works well. Ran full diagnostics with the X-Tool and the Top Don, and there were more errors in the computer than anything. The husband's a mechanic, so he's going to look into it. So that video was out the door. I still got to had a lot of problems doing that stuff. But when I have downtime or I don't have jobs available at the moment, I do have a couple. It's hunting season, so getting a lot of Roll King gun safes, keys missing. But those will usually, those are scheduled for during the week after the day job. So I may or may not be able to record those. But when I have downtime, I like to work on a few little projects. This is, so technically my company, my business, has been in existence for either 3 or 4 years this last September. Thought I was good at lock picking, which I am, or was, or it's one of those things you got to keep the skills up on, and this does not help. So I was like, yeah, I can be a locksmith, I can change a handle, I can do this. But it's not until you start getting those unknowns. A piece of antiquated master lock that it's going to cost more for me to figure out a key and copy a key than them for go Dollar General and pick up another one. but sentimental value, whatever. The other things I do is this. This is going to be a separate video. But until you start getting those day-to-day calls like one of these, that'll be an upcoming project. Until you do it, you know, how do you build the skill? How do you build the muscle memory? For me, everything is a lot about muscle memory. I am back to the GoPro. This is good, but the digital zoom sucks. And I know I'm all over the place. Batteries. For the GoPro, what I found is these beige or off-white or whatever color they are. Walmart, like $24.99.
Sorry, I wanted to
They're
just
designed
look
for the
to
9
see.
through the 12, 13, or
One, this is
14.
awkward looking through the camera.
They don't
and two,
overheat
this
as
thing
much.
does not help.
Whereas
So
the original ones,
3 is
I
kind
don't
of
know
a
how well that's
difficult
going to show up.
on this
The
one.
sides are bulged out because it overheats. These last longer, and they don't overheat.
So let's try.
So I think for $60 you can
One's
get
not
2 of
getting-
those plus another charger. I don't need another charger. Still working on
Feels
figuring
like
out.
it's a 4.
And then of course the usual chaos. But I've got, this is when you get time
Now this
project
thing also
from
just
someone.
rotated a little bit.
For Master Lock, they absolutely want this lock.
Now we're back to this.
I don't know how well this can show up. This
If you let
thing
too much
is,
tension off, you reset the rest of the pins. This thing just does not want to go.
it
What I'm going to
is
do is
loose
start backing
and
tension
worn.
off, and I will have to do the other pins again.
Insert your own joke about
But I'm just
X5
sitting
here.
here kind of...
One of the things, Lishi's,
now I'm going to increase tension.
I'm not great at them. Impressioning locks, I absolutely suck, but I try when I've got downtime to practice on it. So one of the things I want to do is see if one,
So I'm just kind of
I can get this lock
fiddling the pin.
open. And my Banggood picks here because my good sets are in my, they're actually at home.
Now it doesn't want to go down any further, so let's try the other ones.
But I want to show you a couple differences I run into. Yes, I've got one of these that I think also needs a key.
So I'm going to release.
Or I might have already made a key for this one. But I want to show you some of the things because it's not the traditional.
Springy.
Let me see if I can get the camera
Bring
set
that
up
set.
in a spot where.
Nope. See, that 4th pin just goes all the way back. Now we got 1. Let's double check 2.
I don't know, because I've watched a lot of videos on using Lishi, and everyone does a great job of showing how they work. But the one thing I struggle with is
That 3rd pin just does not want to go anywhere.
let me let's see if we can get it closer.
So I don't always start with the. Once I get a little bit of fill,
So one
what
thing I
pins are
struggle
hard
with
and what
is tension. This thing has been liberally
I will come back
applied
through
with
and try to get those first.
Houdini, because at first I couldn't even get it. See right there, it's still
Because the
catching.
trap some people fall in with the Lishi is they got to get 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. But when you're picking it, it doesn't work that way.
I'm going to do a couple different, let me actually pull this one out. Because I know.
See, that thing just does not want to budge. So I get 1 pin that's hard. I just really try
This
to
one has a
focus on
hard
it first.
pin in it. Let's see. Yeah, let's put that the other way.
And that goes all the way down. That didn't work.
Doing this
I feel several people tuning out
LPL
right now.
style, making it the most easiest conditions. Now, no slight against LPL, but
That's
it
not the kind of
gives
spring
me
I
an
want, but
instant annoyance when someone says, well, I watched this lawyer guy on YouTube and he picked a lock in 5 seconds. Well, lady, I'm out in the middle of the rain. Your lock's froze. So I'm going to see if I can't do some of the, show just some of the things that I've learned or what worked for me.
and this, see, it's almost breaking. Freaking brace, just. So, one of the things I have problems with is the spring. Feels like the first one that wants to set. So is that. It's coming through okay. Because sometimes you got to apply light tension. Like with one of these, you got to apply heavy tension. And you start, okay, springy. 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 Not as springy. So now we got to go a little bit more tension. Nope. Nope. You don't want to force it on. And you can really tell you're forcing it if, when you're pushing it, this thing starts coming out. Oh, which I can't do this on camera. So that is hard, and this thing is starting to bow. I don't know if that's picking it up. But I don't want to force it and bend the pick in here. So sometimes what I will do is, if I get a pin that's just really hard, I just gently start applying a little bit more pressure as I'm running this up and down. And you can start feeling where the line is. And then you can go back and start adjusting the other ones. That one's too far. If you also start getting counter turn, that's an indicator. So let's start 1, 2, we got a click. 3 is down there somewhere, 4 is down there. 1, go ahead and. The other thing is, once you can tell, once it's set, you got just a short little 1 or 2 cuts spring. This one's going all the way down, so let's start over and see if we can't just get this one set. Yep. And I know people who are good at Lishis right now are screaming at the video, but I'm not. So see, that goes all the way down. All right, sorry, I had to take the brace off. It's just killing me. So I'm just going to give this a little tension until I start feeling a bottom that's not all the way at the bottom. So this could be, first cut feels like it could be a 3 to a 5. Same here. That is, it's one angry pin. This looks like it could be right in this range. So since 3 is the hardest, I'm not feeling anything through here as I start applying tension, except for right down here. So let's, I mean, it could very well be a 1 or no, not 0, but so I'm gonna go ahead and go out of order. I mean, with the Lishis, you don't go 1, 2, 3, 4. You can proceed in that order, but it's just like with picking, you got to work the pins in the order they want to go. That feels set. Oh, there we go. So that one pin that was hard to push, I kept just applying enough tension until I got it to where I felt a little spring, and then I started working on the others. So this would be, grab a handy notepad because I can't fill. and find. Okay. So I'm gonna try to do this. What I do is I just, wherever it rests. So that's on the dotted line. Oh, helps if you're in camera. I just go where it rests. So that's going to dotted line to a 4. Two appears to be doing the exact same thing. Dotted line 4. 3. Oh, now 3 looks to be just above 1. So we could cut that as a 2 or a 1. And this is where some people say, oh yeah, you go with this. You can always take more off a key, but you can't add more to it. That is, well, I quit dropping things. That is going to line straight to 3. So I'm pretty confident about 4. 4. 1. Well, now see, now I've readjusted. It is right on the line for 1. So let's roll the ball. I've got 1,000,001 M1 keys. And 3. So let's come over here. Oh yeah, you guys missed that magnetic mount. I know you did. Let's get this turned on. Get my handy dandy book out here and I'll put it upside down so it looks right to you guys. Or maybe, I don't know, the GoPro adjusts, so let me find it here. Probably gonna be some speed up. Well, let's find the ends. Anti-M. What was that off of? MAX. Master padlock. Master padlock. 1092 is, I believe, an M1. So, got started at 187. Block 1. I think I got block 1 in here. That's one I use the most. We're looking for spacing of 125. So I'm going to put the book over here offside. Grab my paper. Grab a master key. I don't think I have any sitting here. So this starts at, let's get 125. As everything folds. Cuts start at 187. Master padlock. So spacing is 125, 187, 50, 150, 87. So these are, and it does make a note here. Oh no, actually it doesn't make a note here. Doesn't say top shoulder, but this only has a top shoulder, so flip this little thing over. You got your spacing there. Clamp it down. Remember to take this out.
if my dolphin videos show you nothing. And let's cut a 4, 4, 1, and a 3. 4.
My glasses on. Similar to what? No, alright. 4 and a 4. Should be spacing 12. Something. Well, wait. Just round up. Let me go down. 27. So we're at 1, 7, 2, 12. 3. There we go. I'm back on track. Okay, I just did this right. 12 in the middle. This should be 7. 7. Okay, get it up the line. Go 3, 7, 1, 1, 2, 57, 57, 57. Oh, yeah, just take my wrist off. 62, 62, 47. No, 2.6. Makes my number look bigger. 6. 2.6. Okay. So let's, after I get some results, I'm trying to multitask.
So, if all goes well in the world, okay. So that was a painful process for me, but there we go. So, now the thing is, that's a nice shiny lock. Someone just but what do you do with these crusty, nasty ones? Well, we're going to do the same thing. Hopefully. As you can see, it is dripping in Houdini. And we're going to try no spring. Oh, you guys probably want to watch. And yes, I did pick this before the video because it was crusty, and when it finally opened, it's like, hey, let's do a video. Now watch, I can't do it again. So that one's just kind of... I'm just working my way back and forth the pins till I get that Lishi two-step. See, this pin feels like it needs to go. I don't know, maybe it's just ones I have problems with. Reset. Okay, so that goes all the way to the bottom. That's a no-go. I don't know if the sound of how crunchy and scrapey it is going through. So I loosened up my tension on it. So now we got some spring there. Spring there.
spring there. No spring there. These crusty ones, I'm not getting that crisp, the pin set. So I'm going to go with a little bit more tension. Oh, you thought the first lock was bad. So if you got one that's still all the way springy like this, it means one of these others is holding it up. At least in my experience. Might have went too far in that one. But now we've got tension here. Oh, I felt the lock give, damn it. So rinse and repeat. So anyways, this is what I do when I have downtime. So we got that nice spring right there. Got a spring there. Now we got spring there. 3, 2. See, we're starting to get that bowing out there. So let's do, because there's a one initial pin that so long story short, picking at a master lock isn't hard. This is just a different way of doing it, but I'm making a complete ass out of myself, wasting time, failing miserably on camera. So one pin is crusty. That's what you don't want to do. So I think this is probably a 1 cut. I'm going to try to get 4 first. And then come up and get 1. At least get it wedged down there. Okay, so one seems to be the problem pin that I just can't get. So I'm gonna go through and see which one sets easy, and then try one. Nope. So hopefully that came through. When I was getting them set, this one was bowing out. So I picked one and then lightly tapped the others until I could just get this. If you think about it like, oh, here, let me read this real quick. And it seems like, oh, magnet. Ones are the ones I have the worst time with. So it seems like a 1, 4, 6, 5. So in figuring out which one's a trouble pin, I'll start doing one pin that I know will set and then come over. And if you start moving, picture the pin in there like this. As I get 4 set, this one, number 1, may not be catching, but I'm moving it down just a little bit and there's enough tension to keep it in place. Get 3, a little bit more tension, and then it pops. 2 gets set, 1 then sets, but now you gotta come back and hit them all again so that they all pop in. Probably clear as mud, but it's not straightforward as click, 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 done. You gotta play with it. Let me grab a blank. Oh, I can use the one that's all gummed up. Let me grab a paper towel. We are still set up for an MW1. There's a hard magnet you love. Clean. Use top shoulder. Clamp it. Come back to ones if you want 80. 7, 88. This was 145. Try to write it down, but 1 should be. Sorry, just my numbers out. 57. Ah. Can't see my. Where's this going now? Look at okay. I'm done cutting. Come over here. Not that you guys wanted to see that. Battery beep, so this is still open. Let's go ahead and close it. Let's take this out. We are 2 for 2 today, even though it took, what, 5 hours? So that's just kind of the things I do when I have downtime. I suck at Lishi, I suck at impressioning. One thing I don't know if... One trap I fell into when I first started is, here's the padlock for my storage in the back. It does have a number on there, but you want to take that number
and run it through like a generic code or something like that, because those aren't the cuts. That's a mistake I made. Burned a lot of keys screwing that up. And I do get a lot of padlocks. Here's what I'm trying to get people to switch to, or something similar to that. So you can swap the cores out. Here's an old one. I got some videos where I'm trying to get this out. The retaining clip or retaining pin here has loosened. So I'm actually trying to see if I can take a core from Lockvoy. CLK Supplies did an awesome job at finding me the spacer and just retaining clips. I want to see if I can drill this out and get it in. And that way, that's another 4H project to rekey them all on an MX-13 without having to replace all the locks themselves. But as I get downtime, even if I have no jobs scheduled here at the shop, I always do a little bit of eBay stuff on the weekends. But I sit here and I try to learn stuff I struggle with, and leashing, because I've seen people who can, take a file and knife edge a blank and twist, twist, twist. Here's your cuts. Here's your key. I suck at that. So I really try to develop Lishi into reading it, but especially with the crusty ones, it's developing that technique of figuring out if you've got a really hard pin, and then working the other pins and just working that one down until it opens. I used to, when I first started out in reading, I was pulling this down as I was trying to read it. Now I just set it on top, and the line it sets on without me touching it, that's the number, which is how I did both these. So hopefully that can help someone starting out or someone who's just not familiar with doing this. I still completely suck at it, but make progress each time I do it. So keep an eye out for, these are actually scheduled to be installed in 2 weeks. There's a lot of fall fest and everything else going on. Officer elections, all this other crap, some Karen drama. You didn't hear that from me, but so those will get put on. I'm going to be doing another video in the Goodwill box. But that's where we're at today. So as always, appreciate you guys hanging out and wasting time with me. Questions, comments, you guys know how to get a hold of me. Put them in the comments. Get my email address, whatever. But I will catch you guys next time and try to get back on track and putting videos out. So catch you next time.